Hello everyone, welcome to video tutorial on Firebird 5 Robotics Research Platform. This platform is based on LPC2148 microcontroller of ARM family. In this tutorial, we will learn about servo motors, how to control them and how to interface a servo with Firebird 5 robot. Let's see the agenda for discussion in this tutorial. The presentation starts with how a servo motor works, its internal circuitry and what makes it different from DC motor and how can we rotate it. We will learn selecting a servo for specific use and we will also learn how to interface a servo with Firebird 5. Then finally we will jump on the actual programming for the same. Before we proceed with this tutorial, make sure you know the input-output interfacing using ports and know how to work with PWM registers of LPC2148. So let's see what a servo motor is. It is basically a DC motor that can rotate with precise angle, speed and acceleration. Servos can put up about 42 ounce per inch of torque. They are easily found in toys like model car, planes, etc. for controlling steering or adjusting wing surfaces. They are relatively inexpensive, hence widely used for educational purpose in mechatronics as they can be controlled via controller. A servo mainly contains DC motor coupled with gears having proper gear ratio and a sensor for position feedback. Generally, this work is done by coupling it with a potentiometer and a control circuitry to form a closed loop control system. Looking into the control system, we find that the output port is connected with one of the input terminals of the error detector amplifier and the electrical signal is given to rotate servo at the another terminal of the error detector and amplifier. The difference between the signals to the error detector are amplified and sent to DC motor to drive it. This in turn rotates the potentiometer, which is coupled with the shaft of DC motor using gears. As the angular position of the potentiometer progresses, the output or the feedback signal increases. When the potentiometer reaches the desired position, the error in the signal from the output and the control signal is negligible. Hence, there would be no input signal to the DC motor to rotate it. Continuously applying the same control signal makes the motor to stay at that same position. This is how a simple conceptual servo motor works. Now let's see how to operate a servo motor. Servo motor is operated using the wires provided in it. It is driven to a particular angle by the control signal sent to it via controller. These signals are basically pulse width modulated waves and the angular position is determined by the on-time period. This on-time period for various angles depends on the servo motor and the model and the manufacturer, while not on the frequency of the PWM. It is interesting to note that this angular position is independent of the duty cycle of the PWM signal. Generally, this time period is around 1 millisecond for 0 degree and 2 millisecond for 180 degree, but depends on the model and the manufacturer as said above. Graph of the on-time period versus respective angle is linear. Therefore, the values of the time period for angles other than this can be easily calculated by getting the equation of the line from the given two values. The typical specifications of the servo motor are torque, speed, weight and its dimensions. A manufacturer may compromise torque over speed or speed over torque in different models. Weight and dimensions are directly proportional to the torque. The selection of the servos should be made as per the requirements of these specifications. Now let's move on to interfacing part. This figure shows the servo connector. The ground pin marked as number 1 in the figure is generally brown or black in color. The number 2 pin, that is power pin, is generally red in color, while the signal pin is typically yellow or orange in color, which is marked as number 3. This figure shows where and how to connect a servo motor connector with Firebird V robot. Here we would use PWM resistors for generating PWM signals. Let us choose the most commonly used PWM mode, that is single edge PWM. We would use the internal crystal of the controller for delay purpose in timer and for counting. The prescaler is very helpful when the clock rate changes. The change in the clock rate frequency can easily be compensated by changing the prescaler accordingly without changing the other code. Let's choose prescaler as 120. Now the frequency of crystal is 12 MHz. Therefore, the counter increments its value every 0.01 milliseconds. Now, the main logic for generating PWM signal is the counter counts from 0 to a count value set in PWM match register 0. While the value of the counter is less than reference value provided in match register 1, the output where the servo is connected is set high, else low. Hence, in this way, we can set on-time period as well as frequency of the PWM signal. Let the frequency of PWM signal be 50 Hz. That gives PWM match register 0 equal to 2000. Values for registers like PWM, TCR and pin select can be found using ARM7 LPC2148 datasheet. Let's calculate the value for on-time period, that is for match register 1. As the prescaler is 120, the resultant frequency of the counter will be 12 MHz by 120, which is 100 kHz. Seeing other way round, it will take 1 upon 100, which is equal to 0.01 millisecond for counter to increment by one value. Therefore, total counts needed to be increment for getting time delay of 0.6 millisecond will be 60. Similarly, for a 180 degree, we get 220. The relation between on-time period and corresponding degree is linear for every servo motor. Also, we know that the relation between time delay and counts required is also linear for given prescaler. Hence, we can obtain the equation of line by plotting count versus respective degree from the values of counts for 0 and 180 degree. The slope of the line will be 1 upon 1.125 and the intercept on y-axis will give us the value of count for 0 degree, which is equal to 60. Therefore, the equation of PWM match register 1 will be as slope into degrees plus y-intercept value, which is as shown here. Now let's jump to the coding part. This block shows the header file which is needed to be included in the code for programming the controller. This block shows the application of general equation of line derived. Now we will write a code in Keil and try to burn it on the robot. Configure Keil for ARM7 LPC2148. Here I already have configured the Keil and got the program ready. Now looking at the program, the first thing that comes is header files, which are to be included to use inbuilt functions. This function delay msec is used to provide delay after the servo has rotated certain angle. Here comes the initialization of PWM registers. These lines select PWM1 output for port 0.0. Single edge PWM is selected by this line, PWM PC equal to 0. Then we have set the prescaler to 120. Now first we shall disable the counter and set the required on-time period and frequency of the required PWM signal. For this, PWM TC equal to 0 is used. Then, as we learnt in the earlier section, PWM MR0 is used to set the frequency of the required PWM signal. The value of PWM MR0 equal to 2000 is set for 50 Hz PWM signal and is calculated using the formula we discussed in earlier section. The PWM MR1 equal to 60 sets the counter value to 60 until which the output would be high, and then it would become low till it reaches PWM MR0 register's value. The rest of the PWM MR2 to 6 are set to 0, that is disabled. The PWM MCR sets the command to reset the output when counter reaches the value in PWM MR1. PWM LER is basically used to update match registers. Finally, we start the counter using this function. This function converts the degree in terms of count values and sets that in PWM MR1 register and is updated by PWM LER. Here the value 02 in hexadecimal sends the command to update the first bit of match register, that is PWM MR1, for servo to rotate to next angle. This function servo 1 basically frees the servo so that sufficient power can be used by other servo. This function is used to initialize PWM as discussed here. Now comes the main function. Here we set all the pins as GPIO pins first. Then we initialize PWM registers. Now command to move the servo are given. Here we just need to specify the angle to which the servo has to be rotated. Like servo underscore 190 will rotate the servo to 90 degree by passing 90 as an argument to the servo underscore 1 function. Here the servo will continuously rotate from 90 degree to 180 degree and again back to 90 degree and 0 degree for infinite number of times as it is in the infinite loop. Now let's have a look at the output after building the code and running it using softwares like FlashMagic. Going through the tutorial and knowing how can we drive a servo motor and how to program a controller for that, you can try different things like velocity control, 1 degree precision, etc. You can also challenge the operating frequency range of the PWM. With this, we end this tutorial here. Thank you for listening. This is Vishal H. Rajai signing off.